for nothing. I am a failure, and I love it. Deviant.
3 races down, 7 to go. 12 drivers advanced, 4 went home. Rivals, best friends, teammates, doesn't matter. They're just another spot on the way to the top. If you're slow, well, you better run like hell, because this is the Thunderclap Cloudy 12.
The storm clouds develop over the Monster Mile as tonight the Thunderclap iRacing Series playoffs presented by TLC Incorporated make their way to Dover, Delaware for the start of the Cloudy 12 to see which drivers can continue their quest for a championship. Welcome to tonight's action here on Grid Vision. Justin Prince, Brian Britt alongside with Austin Darbyshire producing as we get set to start off the round of 12. Brian, so far, so exciting has been the championship with so many comers and goers. But tonight, the pressure intensifies with a trip to the concrete confines of the Monster Mile.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting race. We're definitely glad to be here this lovely Wednesday night. I think I could pick no other better time to have some racing here at the Monster Mile. This place is treacherous. As you can see, high banking, and we're going to actually see it a little bit as we get a little bit more of a better camera angle on some of these drivers, but very high banking racetrack. The walls come up very quickly. Tire wear is going to be significant, and we have 200 laps of action here set. Of course, 107 degrees on the track at the moment, which is quite hot. Of course, cement racetracks such as this do just a tremendous amount of damage to the race car's tires, and I think we're going to see that tonight, Justin.
This is a racetrack, mind you, that has a notorious streak of blown tires on the iRacing service. We'll see how the Cloudy 12 plays it out. Speaking of how things are playing out, when it comes to the action here on Grid Vision and when it comes to the title fights, first things first, let's talk about what's coming up here on Grid Vision throughout the week. It's been a busy week here on the platform already with action for the Champion iRacing Truck Series from the paperclip at Martinsville Speedway. But of course, plenty of action when it comes to the NASCAR iRacing Series. NIS Open coming up on Friday at Michigan. The Global Racing League in turn also will be in the Irish Hills of Michigan for 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time amongst the races coming up. But as we get set to transition towards tonight's action here from Dover, Delaware, let's transition towards how things are looking standings-wise. Because Ryan Truex enters this round as its top seed. Sean Bounty, Roger Diebold amongst those in the top 3, with John Freeman, Jordan Jurassic the top 5 seeds. Cherry, Garrett, and Famosa currently above the cut line, with Tyler Truex after a point penalty for not having the proper banners on his truck/car. And the finale of the last run of Watkins Glen, Greg McConey, Noah Rainwater, Justin Clapper, all looking to pick up some solid points. The separation to the cut line entering tonight, mind you, is thin. 1 point.
Oh, that's definitely crazy. I mean, and I would feel just awful if I was kind of taken out of or didn't move on to the next round because of points penalties based on something as as simple as having a banner on your race car. So hopefully Tyler Truex has got that situation rectified. And I know talking to him, last week, I remember him saying that he was really looking forward to trying to win this race and, seeing if he could be the Truex that actually went to victory lane at Dover. I know Martin Truex Jr. went there in real life in the next gen. Of course, Ryan Truex went in real life in the next gen, or in the Xfinity. Now Tyler, I think, wants to do it in the virtual machine.
Now, the major thing to consider, though, is With Ryan Truex picking up that NASCAR Xfinity Series win earlier this year at this racetrack, wouldn't you be surprised? There is actually a bounty out to beat Ryan Truex, with him not only having a clean finish, but also finishing on the lead lap. You can't move Ryan Truex out of the way for the win. You can't have him crash out and then pick up the win that way to pick up the bounty. It's pretty sizable, to say the very least. Some drivers putting down as much as $20 on the bounty before tonight.
Oh, I didn't know that. Let me sign up for the race right quick, Justin. I'm gonna have to find somebody to cover me tonight. There's money on the line. That's awesome. I mean, and glad that they had those stipulations to keep it clean and fair, because Dover is a track that's very easy to get into somebody's back bumper, and you want to be able to beat them fair and square straight up here. As we have 3 minutes left in warm up, as you can see Ryan Truex is on the track right now. Of course, he's definitely one of the quickest. I'm wondering how he's going to be able to take those skills that he has developed in real life at this track and really be able to put them into practice here. I mean, we're going to really get to see, I think, how the comparison on this track in the virtual world and in the real world. I mean, I think Ryan Truex is going to be able to really tell us that if he finishes in the top 3 or wins this race.
About 1 minute to go in warm-up before we start making our way towards the grid. Amongst the notable field runners tonight, there is a driver who is here for just the second start for their campaign, who may be someone to talk about towards the front of the later stages. Tyler Chalk, someone who has raced a fair bit in some of the higher league circuits over the years, has taken a little bit of a backseat to that since he moved to the rear world transition to working with Jordan Anderson Racing and now, most recently, Josh Williams' Xfinity Series team. He's in the field for just the second time. He has been in the field since the Indy Road Course race in April.
Yeah, that's definitely very, very interesting. Glad to see him out here in competition. Hopefully he's able to make something happen in that race car. Now, I know we kind of talked about it a little bit before the broadcast actually began, but there was kind of some rumors that I was wanting to see if you maybe could address about the Fords might be struggling here tonight.
And that has been something rumbling a little bit with some of the weekly action. And it's worth noting from the qualifying, Roger Diebold's the highest running. In fact, Greg McConey was the highest running qualifying in 6th. See if manufacturers come into mind here tonight, especially with some of the talking points there. But still, focusing on the race in itself, you have to perform, especially with the combination of races on the schedule. Dover, Darlington, and a super speedway cutoff race at the high banks of Atlanta.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I would not want to have to stake me moving on to the round of 8 on a super speedway like that, or have to really as well put all my hopes on Darlington. But it looks like warm-up is wrapping up here.
Yes, indeed it is. That means it's time to get ready to race for 200 miles here in Thunderclap. On the pole tonight, it's John Freeman with Sean Boundy alongside front row. Then it's Foley alongside McCrary. Ryan Truex, the man to watch for, starts in 5th. Greg McConey for Next Level Motorsports alongside in row 3. Roger Diebold looking to charge ahead alongside Scott Famosa. Majority of your playoff drivers towards the front. Matt Garrett alongside Noah Rainwater to round out your top 10.
Tyler Truex going to be starting in 11th place. 12th place, Robert Condon. 13th, TJ Lee. 14th, Matthew Montgomery. 15th, Tommy Allen Jr. 16th, Tyler Chalk, who we were talking about a little bit earlier. 17th, Robert Walton. 18th, Jordan Jurassic. Surprised he didn't get the pole today. Usually he does. 19th, Justin Glamper. And 20th, Chase Leahy.
21st tonight, going to Burleson with Matt Cherry 22nd. Brandon Schumann back in 23rd with Joshua Corner in 24th. Hearing that Darren Dennis ended up hitting the wall in his second attempt in qualifying, so he'll start 25th. Same can be said for Thomas Aaron, who starts 26th. Kyle Newkirk, Greg Vile, the top 28. Only 2 drivers did not set times, Vile and Damian Neeson. So 29 drivers getting all set to go racing for 200 laps and 200 miles. Now, our stages here for tonight's action expect to be laps 30 and 75. The fuel run, about 60% for the fuel tank. So, based on that, the estimated numbers coming in up to 50 laps. 4 sets of tires available as well. At a track that eats tires, that's That could be very critical. Your keys to victory tonight.
Yeah, I think the keys to victory are going to be track position and also saving tires. I think you're going to want to really try to run the bottom as much as you can through these corners. I don't think you want to really go too high because I think that's going to burn the tires up quite a lot. Also, avoid the wall. There's just going to be a lot of layers to this. You got to avoid a lot of different things. I mean, the wall, I think, is going to be one of the major ones. This track is notorious for when you hit that wall and you come down and bounce down to the inside wall, you're going to bounce right back up. It's like a pinball. This racetrack a lot of times gets backed up. What you say, Justin?
That's an understatement, especially with lap traffic. Very curious how these competitors will play things out here tonight. What's expected to be a busy night here from the Monster Mile. Just about all set to go. Who do you think is going to be able to come away with the victory in the night, Brian? We already know who's the favorite. Who do you think is going to end up beating that favorite?
I'm looking at Sean Bounty. He's already Xfinity Series champion. I think this guy, you don't just luck into an Xfinity title. I mean, that's the hardest car to drive, I'd say, out of the three. I'm looking at the 35. I think he's got something here.
Glad to have you with us tonight here on Grid Vision. It's the Thunderquap iRacing Series Playoffs presented by TLC Incorporated. It's the start of the Cloudy 12. Which championship driver will see their path get a little bit more clearer? We're about to find out. Coming up to the TLC start zone, green flag is out. We're underway for the Monster Mile.
Really good start there for Sean Bounty. Really able to power it into turn one. Can he get cleared for the lead already? As he gets side by side right now with John Freeman. Now, keep in mind, Freeman's a guy that likes to save tire. Bounty definitely trying to capitalize and see if he can't take the position. Still side by side in the three.
Freeman was the only driver to beat Ryan Truex in final practice. He beats the run of Bounty out the corner to lead the first lap of stage one. Most of the field are a single file, but drivers like Noah Rainwater coming off his best qualifying performance of the season, stuck on the outside alongside TJ Lee.
Keep in mind, Rainwater is 12th right now in the Cloudy 12, so he desperately needs points right now. He cannot afford for something to go wrong here, and I think this is the desperation we're seeing from that 0-5 as he still is trying to challenge TJ Lee. It looks like he is going to fall behind Lee for that 12th spot.
Reed Foley has now scraped the outside wall, however, in the 15 car, riding the pink colors, nearly slamming to the side of the blue car in McCrary. And that's also something to keep in mind. That run off turn 4, your biggest chance for disaster.
Yeah, that's one thing. You know, both corners, I'd say, are, off of turn 4 and off of turn 2. There's a big bump on the exit of these corners, big banking change that really can just unsettle the race car, either making you loose and, spinning the race car out or hitting the outside wall. Both things could happen. Here comes Ryan Truex going to try to get underneath the 15 of Foley. Oh, Ryan gets really tight on the 15 here. This is what I was talking about. This is going to be incredibly hard to pass. You can see Ryan Truex is getting incredibly tight. Now going to be under fire from Greg McConey, who's in the Ford. I thought those Fords were going to kind of be struggling, but it looks like that's not the case.
At the very least, McConey is at Roger Diebold, under attack a bit by Matt Garrett. Oh wow, Bounty is trying the diamond line. A lot of different ways you can drive Dover. Some people like the double diamond, some people like to try keep it low, others try to avoid that wall like right there around Diebold.
Yeah, I think Tyler Truex as well got into the wall a little bit there in the 69. So definitely, I know Tyler Truex having that issue with the points penalty. He's going to be desperately trying to work his way forward. As you see McConey, Scott Formosa battling with Roger Diebold as well a little bit further. I do believe, Diebold under a lot of pressure here. You see Tyler Truex trying to get that Taco Bell machine possibly on the inside or the outside, looking for any pathway that he could possibly take. This is a track that, like I said, is so difficult to pass. You really got to wait for someone to make a mistake.
Not able to really make the move quite yet. Staying single file for the time being in the early goings of this stage. Again, just about nearly a third of the way through stage 1. So, it's important to mention that track position can be hard to come by. That's why battles such as towards this direction are important for others to come back from. Some of those, Jordan Jurassic. Jurassic, fairly quick in final practice. Third quickest, in fact. Starting 18th, now looking to try and find a way to 17th, Robert Walton.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen very many passes. It looks like we did just see just one. Tyler Truex just got by Diebold, and he moves up to the 9th place position. But yeah, I do believe, like you said, Jurassic is going to successfully, I do believe, make the pass. He's now up to 17th. So good on him for sure. We're still seeing some battles throughout the pack. Darren Dennis, I do believe, trying to make something happen there.
Dennis has mentioned him once, the couple who admitted they scraped the wall on their second laps of qualifying. Now, the interesting thing is Dennis said his time estimate would have put him inside the top 10 if he didn't hit the wall. Massive difference. First and second laps here on this track. The Speed Kings car deep in the field as we're shown.
100%. And think about this, though, in qualifying. I mean, looking at the qualifying times, they were all pretty much from first to like 10th. It was like a tenth of a second. I mean, these guys were really, really close on lap time. So if you were just 100th off of what you needed to hit, you would, that could equal 5 or so positions.
Case in point, talk the starting point of that 88. Mark McCrary, who's up in 3rd right now, started 4th. Couple 100s, you're starting at the back end of the top 10. Couple more 100s, you're starting where Tyler Chalky is, around the 15th position. That's how close the margins have been throughout the qualifying, throughout the season. Still no movement yet for the race lead. Freeman continuing to beat the Pied Piper in the 5 car.
Yeah, I don't see much changing here to the end of the stage there with Freeman. I mean, I've always kind of talked about how good Freeman is usually on longer runs, and he's got the clean air, and I think that's really, really big. I mean, this is just a mile track, but because of the high banking, it really presents a lot of high speeds, and handling is so important here. I want as much air on that front nose to try to keep me kind of gripped up on the track as I possibly can get, and I think that's going to lend to as well to him possibly saving tires. He's starting to pull away a little bit as well on Bounty. About 3/10 now is his lead. As we see, I do believe Walton still getting pressure here a little bit further back.
Yeah, you see that right now. This is still the battle for 20th. This week, putting a local company actually on the car, the Dover Contracting Company on the back end. But nowhere to go yet for anyone lined up behind. Dennis goes in the wall, Aaron inside in the University of North Texas car.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of fall off as well. I mean, already 6/10 for most of these drivers out here. I think a lot of guys are starting to really, really struggle. Starting to really learn that these tires are wearing quite substantially. Oh, big issues there. The 81, some contact, I do believe, with, I think that was Aaron in the 93.
Still able to keep it clean, green and clean for the time being outside of that, though.
Love that paint scheme on the 93. Oh, that's actually a really cool looking paint scheme. But unfortunately, if he keeps banging with other people, it ain't going to be too pretty. Of course, lots of battling still going on here. I think we're really starting to separate the weak from the strong right now when it comes to how good guys are at saving tires. Oh, big hit on the wall, Matt Cherry. Oh, wait, that was a hard lick. I think Cherry might have some major consequences from that hit. That was a hard lick.
Massive damage to the back end of the 67. We stay green. Matt Cherry, a playoff driver. See why? You already see a little scrapes. How about big scrapes?
Yeah, that was a big hit. I would not be surprised if his front end suspension is messed up right now. He still is on the, I think Matt Garrett also suffering as well, I do believe, from a hit on his right side. So we're seeing a lot of drivers that are starting to get that tight condition to where they're hitting these walls, and it's not going to get better. When you hit it the first time, it usually hit it again. You can see even Matt Garrett. If you take a look at Matt Garrett's right side as well, he's got some right side damage.
TJ Lee's now up in the wall. Everybody's slamming the wall. We still have 12 laps to go on the stage, and a good quarter of the field has now crumpled up the right side fenders.
Actually, I was mistaken. Matt Garrett's in a little bit of a different paint scheme tonight. I thought that looked exactly like his car. But yeah, a lot of guys are starting to crumple those right sides up. Seeing a lot of drivers starting to really struggle. Some drivers into 26-second laps right now. That is crazy. Also, Jordan Duraxic. We talked about him. He started in 18th. He's now up to 11th, Justin.
Absolutely flying. He is quicker than the race leader. The leader's in the 24.8s. Jurassic's a few 100s quicker than that. Most of the field has fallen off to the 25 flats.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers are trying desperately to avoid the wall. Also, Ryan Truex, who started in 5th, is now up to 2nd. He just got by Sean Bounty. Or is in the process, I should say.
Yeah, alongside Ryan Truex clears Bounty. And now the big question is, was Bounty saving? Or was everyone else struggling to find a way to build up the run in the midst of that? Now it's the true test. Ryan Truex just closed the gap by a 10th already.
Yeah, I think Ryan was definitely saving. But I mean, I think that John Freeman, he hasn't had any pressure, so he really, I think, has been saving more than anybody here. Seen a big battle for Matt Garrett. He was battling with Foley, was not able to make the pass, and now it looks like Greg McConey is going to try to use the high side to work his way around Garrett, to work his way back to 6th. And I do believe that's actually where he started, so he is back to where his average has been. You see Scott Formosa also seeing if he could probably get by as well to 3.
Of note, Brandon Schumann towards the back of the field, hit the inside wall into turn 1 and picked up a black flag. Sort of cutting the inside pit cone. So our first driver is down to the pit lane by penalty. Here's Ryan Truex, meanwhile. That gap that initially started going down, it's gone up to 2 seconds. Let's look on board Truex, showing that arc on the double diamond.
Well, I think Ryan Truex had to burn some of his tires up in order to be able to get past those other drivers. And Freeman, like I said, Freeman's just been on a Wednesday night drive. I mean, he has not had anybody to really battle with him. He's just been kind of taking it easy, enjoying the clean air, while Ryan Truex has had to make passes. And of course, last time by, Truex was really close to Freeman's lap time, but still a couple hundredths off.
Coming up to 5 laps to go on the stage. 2.1 seconds the gap for Freeman over Ryan Truex. Bounty McQuarrie amongst your top 4. Currently holding on to the final stage point, Tyler Truex. That may change, though, because remember, Roger Diebold struggled at the start. You see those times, a 10th quicker for Freeman. Those times have fallen off a lot more. If you look to where the 69 and the 38 are, they've been battling near side by side. So the Truexes, one is up at 2nd, the other is just holding on to his stage points.
Yeah, I mean, the lap time difference here for the guys that are up front compared to these guys back here is like a half a second, 3/10 or so. So these guys are starting to struggle, and I'm wondering if that's just been because of them wanting to battle so much. They understand how important track position is, so they try to make as many passes as they can, and it causes them to burn up the resources they have. But it looks like, I do believe we're coming up to 3 laps to go here in stage 1.
Quickly burning through the laps here. Green and mostly clean outside the right fronts of most of these drivers. Freeman continuing to just dictate the pace. It started to go down, but looks to be in a comfortable spot to pick up the stage win. Very important points even early in the midst of this round for the playoffs, to say the very least. Freeman 4th coming into tonight. However, amongst those who were just 13 or so points up on the cut line.
Yeah, I'm seeing Sean Bounty starting to lose a lot of pace as well here as we get ready to close on stage 1. Kind of surprised. I picked that 35 to be really strong here, but it looks like he's not having a good long run. You see McQuarrie. I'm very impressed with the 88 here tonight, showing some really good pace. And you see Bounty, a little bit of touch on the wall there for McQuarrie and Bounty, I do believe. As you see Foley tries to take advantage here. White flag is out for the stage.
Final lap in stage 1, brought to you by RL Productions. Freeman continuing to hold on. Can Bounty hold on to 3rd place? Things are getting bundled up. Garrett trying to hold on outside it for a Formosa. Checkered flag, green and white checkered, in fact, for Freeman over Ryan Truex to win stage 1. Bounty 3rd, McQuarrie holds off an attempt. Foley and McQuarrie the top 5. McConey, Jurassic, Garrett, Formosa, along with Tyler Truex inside the top 10. Our first caution flag of the evening as we get set for stage 1 pit stops potentially. Eagleswood Creations caution. We'll be back after this.
SRI Performance. With over 400 product lines representing the top manufacturers in motorsports, we are your one-stop shop for everything racing. 3 of our brick-and-mortar stores are located in North Carolina, and our newest facility in Brownsburg, Indiana. And 4 trackside mobile stores, you can find us spread out throughout the nation. With industry-leading knowledge, we are only a phone call away to visit our customer service experts. And don't forget, we have the world's largest inventory of used race parts. SRI Performance, and stock car steel and aluminum for everything racing.
Hey, Bob Carr here at TLC. Take a look at some of the specials we're running at TLC right now. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Storms are in the forecast, so if you have a problem with water standing in your yard, in your basement, now's the time to give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342. We'll be glad to provide you with a free, no obligation drainage proposal for your property. Give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342 or hit the link below. We'll respond back to your email, set you up for a free, no obligation quote for your drainage needs. Let's solve that once and for all. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Now's the perfect time to have your landscape lighting system tuned up for the upcoming summer months. Give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342. And let's get you some light out there. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. Let's take it down to the booth and get updated on what's going on.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of Thunderclap, brought to you in part by TLC Incorporated, the premier service provider for lawn sprinklers, landscape lighting, drainage services, and garage makeovers with nearly 40 years of experience. In just one day, your home can become a showcase with a new water-saving lawn sprinkler system, an energy-efficient landscape lighting system, or a brand new garage makeover and a floor that'll last you a lifetime. Imagine all the possibilities if you gave your yard just a little TLC. Operating in Maryland, DC, and Virginia areas, call 888-PIC-TLC for more information. Currently in the midst of caution, getting set for the restart next time by. Let's talk strategy, because normally the thought at Dover is, what strategy? It's 4 tires. Tell that to Sean Belney, Greg McConey, as well as Montgomery, Rainwater, and Aaron, as well as Greg Vile and Burleson. All of them, fuel only.
Yeah, I'm really scratching my head at this. I mean, the fall off we saw was over a second. I mean, some drivers are a second and a half. I really just do not understand this this thought process. I mean, maybe I could wrap my head around them maybe saving the set of tires for later, because I mean, it would be nice to have a set later in this race if we had a late race caution, but I think this is dangerous. I think these guys are going to be an obstacle in front of the guys that are on new tires. I think we could see another caution, and I hate to say that, but I think we very well could.
A few drivers have already requested and have been granted EOLs. Kyle Newkirk, TJ Lee both to start the tail. Joshua Corner has ended up losing a lap. Brandon Schumann is now out of the race after that issue we talked about, where he had to take a black flag under green. So this could get wild for the TLC restart zone.
Watch for wheel spin. I think watch for that.
Let's find out how many drivers are comfortable by trying to run on old tires for the next 40 laps. Green flag is out. Tire spin galore. No stack ups regardless.
Yeah, I'm surprised. They actually did fairly well there on that start. Here comes Freeman on the newer tires, right alongside McConey. He's gonna be able to pass these guys like they're not moving. They're much faster here on these new tires. You see Ryan Truex as well following through. Both of these guys, I think, are going to be able to safely get by the older tire guys, but there's still a ton of other drivers on newer tires to try to get by these essentially moving chicanes.
Driver who really capitalizes in turn on this, Jordan Jurassic. A majority of the drivers just in front of the 6 prior to the stage caution ended up staying out, or rather taking the fuel only. He's up at the top 3. Here's a look at what's becoming a hornet's nest. Several drivers trying to recover from damage, like Mark McCreary. We talked about drivers rubbing that right front fender. Many of them having to take the time to fix the fenders as they go 3 wide on Montgomery. And now it's McCrary pushing Montgomery up the track.
And McCrary just came up and almost body slammed Montgomery there. Almost, I do believe, looks like Montgomery stayed out of the wall. That was close, and I don't think we're out of the woods yet here. You see Foley getting by as well, so Montgomery trying to get the rhythm back.
Battle is on for the race lead, though. Things intensified in the pack, but Ryan Truex has intensified his pursuit for the top spot. Freeman protecting the bottom. Ryan Truex trying for the arc.
And I am just so impressed with the 6 of Jurassic. I mean, this guy has had so many poles this season. I think he's getting ready to enter this battle for the lead as well. I mean, looking at lap times, I mean, he's just as fast as these guys.
Caution.
Caution is out.
21st spot, Burleson. TJ Lee also collected. And we're under yellow once more here at Dover, our second Eagleswood Creations caution flag at Dover Motor Speedway.
Looks like we have a discount modified as well. 67, completely missing his front end here. Oh, big hit on the, inside wall hit right there. Oh, and more hits. He just had a ton of contact there.
Justin Clapper having to make a massive save there. But already,
discount modifies.
Yeah, some big flare-ups. Not sure who had the 98 paint scheme placed on their car tonight. Joshua Corner when he's supposed to be the 16, so he got some of the worst of it.
Yeah, and it's hard to miss a crash here. I mean, you gotta think on these straightaways. There is no real runoff. I mean, it's just literally racetrack and wall. I mean, so there's nowhere to go really to escape a lot of this calamity. And you see right here, just boom. That's just a hard lick right there for a lot of these drivers. TJ Lee, you see he's involved, and he's been having some really good races the last several races, and just unfortunate to see that. This is good news, though, for, I'd say, the drivers that stayed out or took the fuel-only call. Sean Boundy. Some of the other drivers, Noah Rainwater. Oh, man, it's just a hard lick there for a coroner to come in and hit the 67 like that.
So under the caution, the Eagleswood Creations yellow, our second time being so tonight, our first for incident. Caution is brought to you in part by Eagleswood Creations, your one-stop shop for your laser engraving needs, from wood to acrylic, custom signs, earrings, keychains, coasters, and much, much more. Located in West Creek, New Jersey, but shipping nationwide. Items can be purchased and custom made via Etsy on their Facebook, or rather their website at eagleswoodcreations.com. You can also follow them in part on Facebook, but also on Etsy and at Eagleswood Creations on Instagram. So, one driver deciding to pit there, Matt Garrett. Just about everybody else who came down to pit lane just now, a part of the incident, picking up some damage repair.
I'm telling you, look at the 79 of Burleson. This car is still driving. This does not look like it should be on the road right now. He is missing his front end and his back end. This car's still going, though. I mean, wow. I'm telling you, they sure don't build them like they used to.
Yellow penalty, Matt Cherry. As part of that incident, Joshua Corner confirming in his 16/98/duct tape 16 number that they have 8 minutes of damage required from our first big incident of the race. So, where does that now put things? A possibly wild restart again, since drivers on the old tires are no longer at the front. They're in the heart of the field, Brian.
Yeah, for sure. And we saw, on that last restart, Boundy, some of these guys, they had wheel spin, and I think we're going to see that again. The only thing is, like they're like you said, they're in the heart of the pack, so they have a little bit less room for error. So that could cause a big stack up or something like that. That could cause the dominoes to fall in a certain way that takes out more drivers in this race, and we're not even a fourth of the way through.
Decent time to talk about different paint schemes for tonight. Few drivers, it's their home race. And two drivers to mention took two different approaches. Robert Condon, currently 14th, absolutely went full in when it comes to it being a home race. He's mainly from Maryland, but this is a very close track to that state. To him, it's about crab cakes, football, and Dover tailgates. That's what Maryland does, quote unquote. Then, what's the response from the other hometown driver? Chase Leahy. His response is the 34 car. Here's a paint scheme that has nothing to do with anything even remotely related to the area or anything racing for that matter. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I mean, a lot of these cars are going to be really, I'd say, representing Dover by the end of this thing with damage, because Miles loves damaged race cars.
Miles the Monster looking to see which drivers get added to the collection of drivers with damage. It's been an interesting one so far. Of note, even John Freeman has picked up right side fender damage. Does that impact your current race leader who's led all 40 laps except for Sean Bounty's 3 under caution? TLC restart zone. Still about 30 to go in the stage. 31 at the stripe. We're backing away. Ryan Truex under attack for second.
Yeah, Truex just did not get going. I think he got caught sleeping a little bit there, but he's going to really get a good run through.
Oh, that's a great run alongside for the lead. Ryan Truex powers his way alongside the 5. Freeman can't get the arc down. Ryan Truex with the pinch.
I almost think he did that on purpose. That was an interesting strategy right there, Justin. I mean, it looks like he backed off and didn't get going on purpose, maybe to build the momentum better in 1 and 2, and it seemed like it worked flawlessly.
Ryan Truex now with the race lead for the first time tonight. Battle is on. Scott Famosa taking away the 5th spot, one of his best races all season. Mark McCrary, despite the contact earlier, still clean up into the top 6.
Yeah, Sean Bounty just trying to hold on to position. Diebold getting passed quickly by Foley. I mean, you can just tell these guys are on little tires are getting passed like they're not moving. Here comes Foley into the inside of Rainwater. Raindrops getting ready to drop tonight.
Raindrop dropping down the pylon. Reed Foley, meanwhile, progressing up it. Now keep in mind, Foley amongst those who took significant time to get the damage repaired to the right front fender, 38 seconds already. But that car running very quickly all of a sudden as a result of that fixed fender. That just showcases how big the damage is. Case in point, not just the tires, but damage for Rainwater, nearly adding some.
Yeah, we got a lot of drivers having some issues. Stack ups back here to 24. Damian Neeson back to 25th. Just got to the wall very hard. Still a lot of very damaged cars out here. I mean, see Burleson. I'm just shocked to see that 79 still out here. As looks like Bounty loses yet another spot. That's Matt Garrett moving up.
Now this could be an interesting thing to keep an eye on. The 3 is on a little bit fresher tires by about 6 or 7 green flag laps. How big of a difference will that make? He's already passed by a majority of those on his cycle.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I mean, I think even just 1 lap at this track makes a difference. So I think that he might be able to make something happen. I mean, he's climbing quickly to Dennis right now. There goes, I think, Greg Vial working by Sean Bounty. Of course, he won a race recently, so I'm sure he's going to be definitely feeling very confident in that 26 machine. Of course, he's not a playoff driver, but there goes 3 of Garrett right around Dennis. Of course, Dennis, I'll tell you, we've been talking about him as well. He's been showing such significant improvement and such good runs these past several races.
The hype down has been definitely looking cleaner and cleaner, but also having damage tonight. Garrett flying quickly to Diebold. Now, Matt Garrett is a playoff driver. It is important to mention. 7th in seeding coming into tonight. Yet to get a win this season, although he's been mighty close in the past couple weeks. The Milwaukee Mile especially comes to mind.
So now, looking at Garrett, Garrett didn't take tires on the stage caution, correct? And then he took them on that last caution. I like that. He gets him off strategy and gives him an advantage. I mean, of course, he had to really rely on that caution to come out, but it seems like it's working out for him. He's about 2/10 faster than Diebold in front of him. He's 3/10 faster than the guys that are up in the lead. I think this Garrett has got a lot of pace right now.
Now he's underneath Diebold. Now he's not. Move up a spot fully. Munsto's getting bunched up behind Tyler Truex. Truex amongst those who also had to deal with some fender damage early. Starting to really bundle things together. 3/10 off the leaders, these cars in this pack car.
Yeah, Tyler Truex, you can definitely tell he is very much off the pace right now. He's holding up Formosa, and I think McCrary and Foley, and I think he's going to start holding up Garrett as well. This is a cocktail I don't know if we want to see mixed together. You see a little bit of a touch on the wall there for McCrary, and that's going to, I do believe, give an opportunity to Foley to move up to 6th place. Oh, there it is, another big hit. That's a big hit for McCrary. That is not just a kiss.
That is a demolishing of the wall for the Speed Canes car. Massive fender and rear end damage for the 88. Of note, as this goes on, a change has taken place now for the 2nd spot. Jordan Jurassic, the JCR car, is coming. He's now just 1 second behind Ryan Truex, making the pass on his teammate a couple moments ago.
Yeah, I think Freeman might be starting to struggle a little bit here. Last time by, Jurassic was about a 10th or so faster. I'm wondering what's going on with Freeman. I thought he was going to be really better on the long run, but I think what really is hurting Freeman right now is you talked about he's also got a little bit of damage, and also he's in dirty air. Dirty air is not something he's used to. For the first parts of this race, he was in clean air.
And the damage, too, has to factor in the right quarter panel, because it's important to mention when you have damage on the rear end of your car, it peels back the fender. And the more damage you have on that rear end from that corner, the looser you get. Another slide for Freeman off the corner, loses him half a tenth. Others with similar conditions, Condon, who's in the battle for 11th, mind you, also dealing with some damage on the nose and the right side.
Yeah, I think by the end of this race, it's going to be about who has the least amount of damage. I think everybody's going to have some. Of course, it just depends on, I think, like I said, the least amount. And sometimes you can get damage at a track like this that could help you. But I think it's going to be very rare for that to be the case. Is the battle, of course, you see some lap cars coming into play as well. But the battle has been steadily heating up here for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Freeman and Newkirk nearly just collided down the back straightaway there. You mentioned lap cars. Newkirk put it in the fence to try and let the leaders go and bounced off of it, nearly hitting the right rear quarter panel of Freeman again. There goes Neeson to try and keep up high. Traffic starting to play a massive factor.
I think I see Diebold as well as disappeared. I'm not sure if that's a technical issue, but he gets dropping through the field like a stone.
Again? Remember, that happened at Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's right. Remember, he had technical difficulties, finished in last as a result of that. That is correct. But speaking back to the lap traffic, this is such a difficult place to be a lap car. If you get out of the way, you're going to be so much off the pace. I mean, you're already off the pace because you're getting lapped anyway. But I mean, if you get up out of the groove, you're going to end up endangering yourself. And so a lot of these guys might not know when another driver's coming up on them quickly. As you see, I think Foley just got into the wall a little bit there. As Matt Garrett has made his way now up to 5th place. Now I do believe he's actually challenging the 4th place, Tyler Truex.
On the outside, passing by the boss man, the E-Tyler Truex car. Formosa trying the outside too. Bit of a squeeze. Not able to get the run. Foley nearly runs up top as McCrary gets turned. Lap traffic involved. Kyle Newkirk, we're under caution.
And you know what this means? This means we're going to have less than a 10-lap shootout as McCrary has gone around.
Check that. That was Greg Vile with the white front nose, similar to Newkirk. Vile was on the strategy of tires, keep in mind, but was involved in the last caution. Now he's involved in this Eagleswood Creations yellow.
That is unfortunate there for McCrary. Was running really good, very good qualifying effort. Now has significant front nose damage on the 88. Definitely not what that 88 needed here tonight.
So the second time for caution from an incident. Vile picking up contact from that situation. Racing deal has been called on this as they were trying to pass by the traffic. Go ahead.
I just think Vile didn't realize that there was a lap that lap car was slowing down McCrary as much as it did. I think that Vile was not prepared for that. Had exited a little bit too fast, or came up on McCrary a little too fast. Unfortunately, got into his rear end. I mean, I think I could see that being a racing deal. I don't think that was on purpose. It was just a little bit maybe having better awareness next time from Vile.
Under 10 laps to go now on the stage this next time around. McCrary and company coming on in. Most of them dealing with damage, keep in mind. But now, tire spin could be massive. Especially with how this stage is about to go. Under 10 to go on the stage, this could get messy.
I think the best person that's got the best chances right now, he's on the freshest tires, is Matt Garrett. I mean, everybody else is going to, I mean, he as well is going to probably suffer from the wheel spin as well, but I think that he has the best chance. He before this caution came out, was about 3 seconds off of the back bumper of Freeman. Now, that's quite a big distance. Now that distance is erased, so now he is able to possibly come up here and challenge for a stage win.
So under caution once more. Tonight's action brought to you in part by RL Productions, a Baltimore-based national video marketing agency specializing in video marketing solutions and commercial advertising. RL Productions offers custom brand strategies tailored to your community or organization's unique goals with in-house level attention to detail. RL Productions also offers complete international event solutions for your conference convention needs with both on-ground and live stream production capabilities. Visit rlproductioncrew.com and turn your expectations into real-life productions. All doubled up. Next time around, expecting the Wendigo signal. This expected to be busy to close out stage 2. Truex, Jurassic, Freeman, Garrett, Tyler Truex, Famosa, Foley, Vile, Dennis, and Condon inside the marks for stage points. Of note, though, Tyler Truex, who does have, or rather Tyler Chalk, who has significant damage, could still get some stage points in his second start of the season because he's on fresher tires.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I mean, you also see back, I do believe in 18th place, Tommy Allen Jr. is on fresh tires as well. A lot of those guys back there, though, I do believe were trying to fix damage as well. This is going to be interesting. I have a good feeling that we're going to see a lot of guys really having trouble getting the power down. So I tell you, if these guys got traction control, now's going to be time to use it.
So all set to go. Greg Vile getting asked about damage. Reed Foley claims there's no damage. Unfortunately, I hate to tell Greg Vile this, but that is not the case. He has a significantly destroyed right front nose. So, how do you play this restart if you're in this pack, Brian?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a very good question. If I was to play, I'd just be as careful as I could getting back onto the gas. I mean, survive, be patient, and be aware of what's going on in front of you. Because even if you don't make a mistake, you got to watch the guy in front of you, Justin. If the guy in front of you spins his tires and spins out, you do not want to get involved in that.
Again, the stage ends at the completion of lap 75. Looking on board, this is Matt Garrett, outside row 2, precious tires amongst your entire top 10 outside of Greg Vile. Coming to the TLC restart zone. Green flag is up, back underway. And while everybody plays it patient, Garrett is able to pass for third already.
Yeah, this doesn't surprise me. He's got the best tires right now that's up in the top 10 at the moment. He is still, I don't know, he's still getting challenged. I do believe Freeman trying to see if he, nope, looks like he is going to succeed Garrett to take third. Relatively tame restart. I'm shocked at how tame that was. Ryan Truex definitely with the big advantage right now.
Good news for Roger Depot fans. That car's back out on the track 8 laps down. Make it 9 because he's coming out right in front of the leaders. Top 3 on bundled. Dirty air for Ryan Truex.
I don't know that this is going to be scary. I'm sure for Ryan Truex, his heartbeat's probably gone up quite substantially. But take a look though, third place. You see Matt Garrett. He is starting to catch up. He's inching closer and closer to the back end of Jurassic. I think we're going to end up possibly having a battle for second, maybe even possibly the lead. You also see Scott Formosa. He just took 6th away from Tyler Truex.
Hearing there is a warning in the heart of the pack for a lane change, all while Formosa trying to hold things down in front of Vile Dennis, as well as Tyler Truex. Tyler Truex dropping quickly to end off the stage.
Yeah, that's not what Tyler Truex needs. He needs points right now. He's going to be trying to hold on to this 8th place position, as now Ryan Truex getting pressured a little bit by Jurassic, but we know how hard it is to pass at this track.
3 to go in the stage. Next time around, pit lane closes. D-Bolt has broken away to be able to keep himself 8 laps down. Jordan Jurassic looking for a chance on the run. Garrett starting to fall back. No move from Jurassic yet.
Yeah, I'm also watching a little bit further back, just to speak on it. Robert Walton, who's on 6-7 lap old tires. He's been driving his way up through the field right now, a half a second faster than everybody in front of him. He's banging on the back door of the top 10 at the moment.
Coming up to 1 to go in the stage, this upcoming time by Jurassic. Looking to see if he can pressurize the Xfinity Series winner from this year's race at Dover. 1 to go taken, Jurassic's going for the lead. Oh wow, side by side for the back end of the points. It's side by side for the top stage points. Ryan Truex up top, Jurassic on the bottom. Another dive. Contact, Jurassic off the gas. Ryan Truex with the squeeze. Ryan Truex wins stage 2. Jurassic second, Garrett, Freeman, Foley, Formosa, with Vile, Walton, Tyler Truex, and Dennis all in the top 10 for the Eagleswood Creations caution.
What a battle. What a battle for the final lap of stage 2. Those guys were going after it.
A wild finish to stage 2. But in the end, it's Ryan Truex picking up the stage points. 31 laps led for the Xfinity Series winner. Take a quick break. When we come back, it's the run through stage 3. You're on Thunderclap action on Grid Vision.
Eagleswood Creations, your one-stop shop for wood, acrylic, custom engravings such as signs, boards, earrings, and much, much more. You can follow them today on Facebook, Instagram, or you can check out their website, eagleswoodcreations.com.
Hey homeowners, you going to drag your hose through the yard in 2023? There's a better way to water your lawn. TLC Incorporated has been installing custom and professional underground lawn sprinkler systems for over 38 years. Our team would be happy to come out to your property at your convenience and provide you with a free, no obligation quote for a new custom underground lawn sprinkler system for your home. No more dragging the hose. No more dry and dusty patches in your yard. Our smart lawn sprinkler systems will efficiently provide water to your lawn all season long with a healthy green grass from your front yard to your back. Click the blue Learn More button below and the team at TLC can start building the perfect lawn sprinkler system for your home right away. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. let's throw it back to the guys in the booth.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the Thunderclap iRacing Series playoffs presented by TLC Incorporated, which services have custom lawn sprinkler systems, custom landscape and outdoor lighting systems, drainage solutions for flooded and wet backyards, as well as some custom garage floors and makeovers. 88 pick TLC for more information. Justin Prince, Brian Brett, Austin Derbyshire, as we get all set to go. Robert Walton, intriguingly enough, has decided to lead laps here and take fuel only. 2 to go on the pace car. Expecting the wave around from Roger Depot, that's why the 38's up front. Not sure about the 66's play here, outside of a teammate in second and a teammate in fourth.
Yeah, this is definitely interesting. I mean, I kind of talked a little bit about Robert Walton before the end of stage 2. He was driving through the field quite quickly. He was on the newest tires in the field, but still, he's going to be on, I do believe, about 10-plus lap old tires at the moment, and he has not shown, I'd say, the pace to be able to keep up with these guys up here. So I think this is going to be somewhat of I'd say, a significant obstacle for a lot of these drivers, but we'll see how it plays out.
And keep in mind, it has not been the greatest of runs tonight for Robert Walton. Prior to tonight, on that caution period, he had been running in the 20s, has been involved in at least one incident that stack up down the front straightaway. We'll see how this goes. Here is another call. TJ Lee is on the same strategy. TJ Lee, remember, had to get damage repairs done under some of these cautions. They are also holding on to a set of tires with 120 to go, and it being an expected 2-stopper on the gas.
Yeah, this is going to, I think, depending on how many tire sets these guys have taken thus far, we could see a stop where no one has tires left.
Will this work out in their favor? TLC restart zone. Green flag is out, back underway. And here comes the run on the outside for the E-Tyler Truex cars. Ryan Truex to the lead. Matt Garrett chooses the bottom.
Look at the run there for Ryan Truex. Just, you know, he knows what he's doing at this racetrack. I mean, even though this is just virtual, you can tell that he is just comfortable around this place. Him and Miles the Monster are very friendly with one another, I'd say. As we almost have some contact a little bit further back. I think TJ Lee almost had some issues back there in ninth.
Senior issues in the battle for second. Walton gives it up to Jurassic. Matt Garrett now showing the nose on his teammate.
Yeah, Matt Garrett definitely been looking really good here. Walton getting incredibly close to the wall. You see Freeman as well closing in.
Garrett now just about clear is Walton. Drops back, and that's to be expected on the old tires. Freeman moving up to fourth meanwhile. So now the real strategy game coming into play with many of these drivers. With it being, as mentioned, a 2-stopper on the gas. But now, many of these drivers tonight, from all the various mixtures of strategies, seen the field really flip the script tonight. Amongst those next in that grouping of line, Greg Vile, despite incidents in 8th. Aaron, after hitting the wall in qualifying, is up from 26 to 9th. Justin Clapper has already recovered from his issues early in a major save from the first caution to get into the battle for 13th with Bounty.
Yeah, I think the opposite has been true for Bounty. Bounty has not, he started up towards the front and is now falling all the way back to 13th. Of course, he just does not seem to have as good of a long run as what I suspected here. I thought that 35 would be really good. But then again, I mean, there is a little bit of foreshadowing there. I do believe we talked to Bounty last week, and if I'm not remembering incorrectly, I think he said he was kind of bad at this track.
He was actually solid before taking a different strategy. Now he has to fight through all the traffic. The risks of taking different strategies. Give it this racetrack. Dennis way inside. That's the battle for 9th, as Dennis The Hype Dad makes the clear.
Yeah, last time by, Dennis was actually really, really fast. He was, I think he hit the fastest lap of the race, or not of the race, but of the field that last time by. Now he's on the high side though, has Aaron to his inside. But Dennis, I mean, he has just been continuing to impress. The Hype Dad, he's been top 10 car in about every race we've seen him in. And now he's going to try to get by Walton. I think he's going to move up to 8.
Oh,
getting a little bit close, and that's going to give possibly an opportunity to Aaron. Aaron able to get a better run.
The next level machine still boxed in. Aaron trying to squeeze tightly, gets pushed up the racetrack.
You see McConey as well trying to take advantage. Looks like Bounty gets by Aaron as well. Clapper now going to try to take advantage. So a lot of drivers trying to take advantage here, but not quite able. Clapper not quite able to get there. 93 trying to recover, tries to get underneath 35, just not able to get there.
No poke around, if anything, losing ground. Garrett, by the way, has been attempting to make passes. McConey, very much so, looking to be on the aggressive. Driving to the Purdue University paint scheme tonight. Looking to get the hammer down inside, move McConey up to 9th.
Also want to turn our attention up to the front. Jordan Durasic is now the leader. He's got about a half a second lead on Ryan Truex. I think Ryan Truex might be trying to save tires. Durasic, I don't think he's really doing that. He's about 2 or 3 tenths faster than Truex right now. So we're going to take a look back at the pass. I think maybe an issue here. I think we were looking at the pass for the lead.
Yeah, so let's take a look if we can, or we're looking at 2 different cars. Let's take a look here. Apologies there. This is the lead. Same corner, but Jurassic had been trying to set this up for a while before the end of the stage. This time, Ryan Truex lets him have it.
Yeah, I think that's the key word. I think he let him have it. I don't think Ryan really is trying to fight that hard. He knows that he has to save tires at this place. I mean, tires is the main factor. Of course, fuel is very important as well, but I think that Ryan knows that this place, in about 20 or so laps, Jurassic's not going to be where he is right now.
Looking at Famosa, meanwhile, along with drivers such as McConey in that grouping, Vile in between some of the playoff drivers there. Famosa's been having one of his strongest runs of this entire season, you could argue, in the 80 car. 8th seed coming into tonight, not even to get a win, but had a top 3, for example, at Nashville, which has concrete. Bristol, best run not at a track that is a legacy content track. Top 6 run there. Bristol known to be mixture of concrete. See the consistency there.
Oh yeah, and I love his lines. Look at what he's doing. He's he's entering really high, staying high through a lot of the corner, and then diamonding kind of like, to make the path off of the corner more straight. I really like this call from him. It's really seems like it's working out for him. I mean, look at this line he's running. It looks like Bounty, I think last time, had a little bit of a loose condition as he is under a lot of pressure. Ooh, contact with the wall from Darren Dennis. Aaron has actually gotten back up to Dennis. That's kind of a surprise because I thought that battle was kind of over, but these 93 and the 81 just cannot seem to get away from each other. And here comes Clapper. Oh!
Hard contact to the wall again. And now he immediately goes to the pitch on Montgomery. That right side, very damaged.
Yeah, very much.
And now
so.
it's Condon up on the left side of the Hype Dad.
You're just talking about how good this 81 has been doing, but I mean, this track is so difficult. This place will chew you up and spit you out. And I think it's doing that to the 81. He's trying to avoid the wall again. The more you hit that wall, the more chances you're going to hit it again. Because it's almost got a magnet there. As you see, even Tyler Truex trying to see if he can't take advantage of this 81.
Very, very difficult punching up right now. Tyler Truex now inside. Leahy going to the very, very top line to build up the run for the same move. Just about made it stick. So coming up towards halfway already in this race. Jurassic holding on to a 0.6 of a second lead. Now it's major to note, how long does that gap last? Because Ryan Truex started flipping the time script towards Jurassic's way. Foley and Freeman even were quicker than the leader.
Yeah, I mean, look at that last time by. I mean, Ryan Truex was like 2.5 tenths faster than Jurassic that last time by. I kind of figured this was going to be the case. I think Jurassic's not, he wasn't saving tires. Ryan Truex knows that the first few laps, the first 10 or so laps of a run at this track, you have to save your tires. It really lines up the rest of the run. And I think that Truex, he's using wisdom here. He's using experience. And I really like this. That's why he is the favorite tonight.
Looking up there, 3 tenths now the gap. Equalized out a little bit last time. You can already see it with just the line being taken. Ryan Truex, smoother on the arc. Jurassic starting to have to lift a lot more to make that same line work. Meanwhile, Greg Viles slow all of a sudden.
I've been really impressed with Aaron. I mean, Aaron's seen his fair share of issues, but it looks like he's been working his way up quite quickly. Looks like we're looking back at Viles, maybe a little bit of contact with the wall here from the, yep, big contact with the wall from the 26.
Hit the wall so hard on the right side, Brian, he damaged the entire front splitter.
Yeah, that's never good.
It's not just the right side, now the middle where the tape is, completely crumpled in. You can just see how much it's crumpled in and how many scrapes it built up. You can just see that car is a bit of a sad boy.
Yeah, 100%. One thing that I'm kind of shocked at iRacing, you know, I think one day we'll probably see a big race going on right now. Clapper, I'll tell you, Bounty is just struggling right now. But one thing I'd like to see iRacing do is have a, you know, possibility of having a cut tire. We really don't get to see stuff like that. And I guarantee you, if that was in the sim, we would have saw a cut tire right there in that scenario with Bio.
Even if you factor in the potential of the composite body that the Xfinity Series in real life uses, as Clapper makes the pass on Bounty again for 10th. Up for the lead though. Look at that interval. It's down to under 2 tenths, and lap traffic is ahead and coming. Cherry already up top. Ryan Truex waiting for the chance to pounce in the midst of heavy traffic coming up.
Yeah, and he's got Garrett right behind him. I feel like Garrett has been going to school with Ryan Truex. He's been really looking at watching him and learning, and even matching him lap time for lap time. But also Freeman. Freeman, I think he was struggling earlier with that damage. I think he might have got a little bit of that repaired, and also has gotten used to the dirty air. He's actually looking really good. Last time by, he was faster than all four of the guys in front of him.
Just currently watching from a bit of a popcorn stance. It's funny you mentioned going to school with Ryan Truex. Technically, Matt Garrett is actually the spotter for Tyler Truex's real-world racing ventures. It also works with Wolf Motorsports in the real life. So that's where that connection comes in. Looking at the battle between Formosa and Baconi, meanwhile. That's building up just past the halfway mark of this race. Speaking of battles.
Yeah, you see that battle right now. It's like the 05 of Rainwater trying to hold off Robert Condon and Tyler Truex. But one of the things I've seen is the worst thing that these guys have been having to deal with all race has been dealing with slower traffic. I mean, it seems like depending on where you catch them, it could be a major obstacle. I mean, if you catch them on the exit of the corner, it ruins the entire straightaway, and you also could end up having a wreck because of it. I mean, man, you don't see that a lot at other tracks. This is one of the most dangerous tracks when it comes to lap traffic, I'd say.
Yeah, this is an extremely tricky track already. Communication for some of the drivers on traffic. How it's going to be approached. Bit of a breather for some. Looking meanwhile, Montgomery. First race back after major, I mean significantly major technical issues. That being, not having a computer because it took the 3 weeks, the whole last round, for his computer to be fixed.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker too, because I know he was one that was really had a possibility of being in the playoffs as well. I mean, you know, definitely unfortunate, you know, lose out on all those points, but you know, sometimes that's just the way it is. It's almost like having an injury in a way, but instead of his computer's injured.
It's an expensive technical problem to have. Clapper, meanwhile, despite left side damage that he's been dealing with since early in this race, looking to lead the second pack that's sort of formed up here. Greg Vile leading this pack for now.
Yeah, I just saw Greg McConey as well just make a pass, I do believe, on Formosa for 6th place. Also, Thomas Aaron.
No!
Oh,
Vile gets turned. Justin Clapper inside wall. Eagleswood Creations caution.
And that's more damage for Vile because he's already had other accidents. He's been involved, I do believe, in 3 accidents tonight. Let's see here, Clapper. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I think Vile just pinched him down too much on exit. I mean, I don't put that on Clapper.
Wow. Now that could lead to something there. Greg Vile, winner from the Milwaukee Mile. Let's take another look.
Yes, it's interesting. I don't know. I mean, it looked like Vile wasn't really giving a whole lot of room to Clapper, but then, I mean, Clapper did come up as well a little bit. That's a curious one there.
Clapper had been running where he had been needing to run for decent points, and now, caution, caution, here's a look.
I think Vile might have got loose off the corner as well, and maybe came down because of the looseness. That's a question. Yeah, that's going to have a lot of consequences because Clapper, like you said, definitely needs the points. I don't think Clapper suffered a ton of damage out of that. I think Vile probably had the worst of it.
Now, the timing of this caution, not good either. It's still a one-stopper to make it to the end on gas. Freeman just took a different call of fuel only.
This is interesting. This is very interesting. I don't know. I mean, I think he's doing. He knows that these guys have limited sets of tires. I think that's really the main reason that he did this. But he's the only one that made this call as well. Everyone behind him, I do believe, came down and took tires. So, yeah, if it goes to where everyone else runs out of tires and him saving this set, he'll be the only one to really compete. You know, because no one else will. You know, if everybody else is on old tires and he's the only one with new tires, this could be an awesome opportunity for the 5 if it falls his way. It just depends on if it falls his way.
Jurassic, by the way, holding up for Ryan Truex in that race off pit road. Garrett, Foley, McConey, Formosa, Aaron, Rainwater, and Tyler Truex now at the top 10. So now, how does this now play out? It's going to be the huge question. 86 laps to go coming up here at Dover Motor Speedway. Just got informed that the bounty total is up to $50, by the way, for tonight. Jurassic seems to be the favorite for it.
Yeah, it's definitely very, very curious who's going to be able to take it. I'm telling you, I think if like I'm telling you, if the cards fall right for Freeman, there's a lot of these guys, they only have one set of tires left, I do believe, right? I mean, one set left. Freeman, I think, has 2 left. So that would put him, if something, I'm telling you, if a caution falls his way at the right time, Freeman's going to win this race. Choosing the high side here.
So this opens up the line on the bottom for his teammate. They're still looking, by the way, at the incident through race control. They have ruled the initial contact as air between them, if you can read between that line,
okay.
technical-wise.
Okay.
So, an extra lap pacing here. Still, we're 35 laps out or so from making it on gas.
Yeah, this is going to come down to. This is going to be crazy. I mean, I can't wait to see who ends up coming out on top. I think this is one of the most difficult races that we've seen really all season long. I mean, strategy-wise.
And meanwhile, confusion on the pit lane. I think Tyler Chalk just had something break because he went down the pit lane and all of a sudden started weaving back and forth down it.
Oh, no.
So that caution coming at a bad time for the 07.
And speaking of difficult tracks, though, one of the most difficult tracks ever coming up next week as well, Darlington. I mean, to have to go to Darlington or Dover and then Darlington, I'll tell you, these guys are going to be hating life. Talk about hitting walls. That place is all about hitting walls.
So no penalty for the racing incident, no wheel out there. We'll see how this goes for the upcoming restart. Freeman, Jurassic, Garrett, Ryan Truex amongst the top 2 rows. McConey having a great night tonight. Best riding forward. Foley, Aaron, Dover Truex, Famosa, Rainwater amongst the top 10 starting positions.
Yeah, I think that was exactly what it was. We talked about a rumor. I think that's what it was. It was a rumor. I think that those Fords are not hurting in the slightest.
Well, he's the only Ford that hasn't had a technical issue. And he's the only Ford technically in the top 15. And the top 20. Let's go racing to the TLC restart zone. Green flag is out, back underway. Good launch for Freeman. Better launch for Matt Garrett. That might not have been in the drawing board.
Yeah, Matt Garrett trying to get that bounty. Ooh, he's going to get the lead.
Matt Garrett takes advantage, takes the lead. Jurassic to the outside for second. And that did not go to plan for JCR. Oh, and a bundle up. Tyler Truex to the bottom underneath Foley. Here comes Aaron, middle line.
Yeah, I think Freeman was holding up a lot of these drivers, and he still is. He's on older tires. He just needs to hold on. You see Greg McConey now trying to get underneath the 5 as well. Guys scrambling to try to get around this 5 machine. Foley right behind him. Woo.
Here comes Famosa on the outside. Aaron trying to back up a little bit. Famosa flooring it to try and pass them both in the midst of this Hornet's nest. Now it's Freeman up top. 3 wide down the backstretch.
You don't see a lot of 3 wide at Dover, and it does not usually last very long. It looks like they managed to get through it. Foley now up to 6th place. Aaron up to 7th. Ooh, some contact on the wall. I do believe Rainwater.
That got extremely busy, extremely quick. Aaron all at the back end of Foley. This has been the best run all year for Aaron, you could argue as well.
Oh, yeah. Looking fantastic. Go ahead, Justin. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I was about to say, Aaron, just his 8th start this season, yes, but has been amongst those who usually runs clean to the 1.5 miles. Speaking of troubles, though, caution is out. Eagleswood Creations yellow, Darren Dennis around the 81.
Yeah, it looks like some significant rear end damage there for the 81. We've got to take a look back at this.
There was a little air hearing and seeing as Dennis has the damage.
Missing his front end. I just noticed that.
Watch the exit. It was tight. And
yeah.
There they go.
I don't know if he knew Condon was above him there. It's unfortunate there for the 81. Just has been having a significant postseason here. Unfortunately, goes from bad to worse. What's the strategy look like here now? I mean, do you see possibly anyone come in? I don't think for tires, probably maybe top off on fuel.
That was very close regardless.
100%.
2 drivers taking the strategy call. Robert Condon, Justin Clapper. Also coming in, Allen Jr., McQuarrie, and Dennis. There goes Matt Garrett's lead. He had checked out by 1.7 seconds when the caution waved.
I'm telling you, he was going to school on Ryan Truex. He was learning a whole lot following that 56, and I think that now he's got clean air. He's going to be a tough customer to deal with right here. Now Jurassic, he's got a lot of speed as well, so we'll have to see how this all plays out. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for these drivers out here to make something happen. And we talked about Aaron before. I mean, he's been looking significantly good. I think he's got a top 5 in his future here if he continues to do what he's doing right now.
So, error is confirmed, by the way, by race control for this caused the incident. Couple feet of distance. It's call over the race control from Justin White. So, 77 laps to go this time around. Talking about the playoff complexion on how things have gone so far in the Cloudy 12. And with how things are going for the drivers needing good runs tonight. Dover Truex, it's not been as pretty as expected for the 69, but top 5 speed so far, or rather top 5 position for now. Greg McConey is in 4th, as Munsto's needing to pick up at least 3 points to get into Famosa. Justin Clapper with damage, Noah Rainwater with damage.
Yeah, definitely. And going back to the 69 of Tyler Truex, he's got some pretty good right front damage too, so I would not be surprised to see him starting to struggle. But I don't think there's a lot of guys out here that don't have damage.
McConey doesn't have damage. Ryan Truex doesn't have damage. Jordan Jurassic doesn't have damage. Matt Garrett doesn't have damage. Aaron somehow has no damage. Famosa has no damage. Somehow Bounty, no damage. But outside of that, it gets a little bit mixed up from there.
We still got about 75 laps, so I think that we got plenty of time to get those guys to join the group.
I mean, don't jinx it.
It's Dover. I mean, Miles is going to get his feel, I'll tell you that right now. As I do believe we're preparing probably for the pace car lights to turn off here. Matt Garrett has been showing some significant speed. He's up front right now, looking to possibly get himself up to victory lane. Still a long way to go, though. Of course, he's going to still have to at least make one more stop in order to make it on fuel.
Best finish this season for Matt Garrett is his car number. 3rd place, Talladega, back in early mid-April. Outside of that, top 5 runs so far at Watkins Glen, Martinsville, Phoenix, Nashville, Charlotte. A lot of different tracks he's performed well at this season. Most laps led, of course, being at Nashville. 113 laps led that night. He's added 8 more to the board tonight.
Yeah, he's been really, really consistent, and you know, he's bound to get a victory here very, very soon. And could it be this race? It very well could be, just considering track position is so important. I'd love to see us run green, though, and see if we can get a green flag stop, because this is one of the most treacherous pit roads, I'd say, on the schedule.
Still 25 laps away from the green light on gas. Coming up to the TLC restart zone. Setting for the first gear start. Garrett inside, Jurassic outside, back it away.
Fairly calm start there. Garrett able to secure the lead. He jumps up in front. Ryan Truex, of course, able to secure the 2nd spot. Jurassic falls back to 4th. Tyler Truex now up to 3rd right now.
Oh, a little bit defensive in the battle for 4th, though. Jurassic stops the bleeding at 4th. McConey trying to build up the run to get to the inside after the block into 3.
Chasing Foley, battling right now with Aaron. Foley goes really wide. Still the battle on. You see Scott Formosa also coming into the play.
Oh, Aaron peeling McConey off the bottom of the racetrack for a second. Can't get there. Formosa alongside Foley. Speaking's car, no clearing on by. Foley able to hold on and instead attacks Aaron. Too aggressive to the bottom. Bounty outside, now a turn.
Now that last caution did feature some guys actually come down pit road. I just realized some guys did end up coming down for some fuel. see Freeman's actually kind of cutting through a little bit of some traffic here. I don't think he took any tires, but Garrett, nope, now up to half a second. He is pulling away right now on Ryan Truex.
Matt Garrett is swimming forward. Battle is on still for fourth, though. Cody on the inside, a bit of a checkup again. Jurassic continuing to play defense in that stylish-looking race car.
Yeah, I love that. It's got a retro kind of look to it for sure, and it's like Pit Viper, apparently.
They're sunglasses.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of their brand.
Just reminds me of like Tron or something like that.
It's 80s retro chic. The modern retro chic, not the 80s at the time chic. McCartney not able to pass by it.
Probably definitely distracted by that beautiful race car. As see McConaughey, definitely he's got a lot of speed. I think Greg McConaughey very much has more speed than Jurassic does at the moment. He's just looking for a way to get by him. And it's just so difficult to pass here. I mean, you could see that Greg is just hounding the back end of that car, and also they're starting to catch Tyler Truex as well. Last time by, they were about a half a tenth faster. McConaughey actually was a tenth faster. I think Greg McConaughey has what it takes to maybe even lead this race. We haven't seen that car in clean air yet.
Still needs a bit of track position, though, to be able to make that work. No moves amongst this top group yet. Jurassic staying in the line. Tyler Truex leading this respective group. And now it's starting to get to where we seen it nearly last time. Tyler Truex struggled mid-run, last run.
Yeah, I'm sure that damage not helping him at all. I think it's going to continue to get worse. And here comes Greg McConaughey trying to make the top work.
Little impatience, not able to make that work though. Kind of showing that the patience levels are gone. Now it's a bump and run in the corner. Jurassic holds onto it. McConaughey on the inside, Jurassic into the wall.
Yeah, I don't think Jurassic's going to be really happy about that. And Aaron's going to take advantage. He gets underneath as well. There's one thing about this track. If you move up off that bottom groove, there's going to be a whole lot of drivers going to try to take advantage of it. But I think Jurassic, he's going to recover. Oh, or does he? Is he able to get the run off? I don't think. I think, yeah, Thomas Aaron is there. Nope. Jurassic actually does defend. I think he's driving probably on pure aggravation right now to try to get back up there to McConaughey. Short track tempers are starting to flare.
Well, this is a 1 mile racetrack, and that counts into the figures of what is a short track in the definition of that. They did used to call this a speedway, though. And I'm not talking about Dover Motor Speedway. I'm talking about in the 90s. They used to run the 500-mile races on the concrete, as well as on the asphalt prior to 1995, and it was a marathon back in that time, in the early days of Dover.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is technically a short track, but I mean, I kind of always considered it to be somewhat of a short track. I mean, it does have speedway tendencies with how fast it is, but just the way the tires wear at this place always kind of made me think it was a short track. I mean, the banking at this place makes this track very, very fast. Caution is out. TJ Lee.
Eagles Road Creations yell. Mark McCrary again involved and has taken a tow. And that was in the battle for 16th position.
TJ Lee missing his front end and didn't get to see exactly what happened here. Let's see. Condon's involved as well, I do believe.
That air is wicked today.
Yeah, it is.
We talked about being the cloudy 12. It's been very gust-like wind conditions in that cloud.
100%. I think there definitely was a wind gust. It just all of a sudden hit that 46 off on turn 4 here. And unfortunately, McCrary, hard lick. McCrary qualified so well, showed a lot of speed. He has just had terrible luck tonight.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about strategies coming into play here at Dover.
Racing is isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Dover, where Miles the Monster continues to feast on race cars. Just Prince Bright with you as we continue with the action for the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated. Garrett, Ryan Truex, Jurassic Tower Truex, Scott Famosa, your top 5, Robert Condon, who pit last caution, up to 6th. That leads to the serving of strategy cake, because guess what? Some people just potentially took their final sets of tires with more than 50 to go.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is going to be interesting to see how this kind of plays out. I mean, if we have cautions and some of these guys stay out, I think they can possibly make it to the end. It just depends for sure. But yeah, I think that was the final set of tires for a lot of those drivers. I like this call for the other guys to stay out, but this is going to make an interesting scenario here. As I do believe we're going to have 58 laps to go here when the green flag flies.
This could get excessively wild now. And to add to the wildness, Sean Bounty decided not to take tires again and is inside the top 8 here.
Well, I mean, at least he'll have a set left later. I mean, I think that's going to be it could be dangerous, but it also could work out very well. I mean,
this restore order is so wild with the strategy. Matt Cherry, without a back TV panel and bumper, is in 10th. TLC restart zone. E-Tower Truex Racing teammates 1, 2, and 3. The JCR car in the top 4. Green flags out, back underway. And a clean start for all your front runners. Condon already being zipped by Boundy, and McConaughey wants to go.
Yeah, surprising. Boundy looking quite quick on the fresh tires. Looks like TJ Lee on the apron, gonna let everybody go. That was kind of a scary moment there, I'm sure, for a lot of these drivers.
Remember Boundy taking the fuel in his stride. Condon staying out under the yellow with damage and older tires. Walton, where did he come from, is in the top 10 again, this time on freshies.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Walton has been taking some really, really crazy strategies in this race, and they've kind of worked. I mean, I'll tell you, I mean, they haven't been necessarily the worst team. I mean, he finished top 10, I think, at the end of stage 2. Could he possibly get a top 10 at the end of this race with off-the-wall strategy? Gets by Boundy. Boundy definitely dropping through the field quite quickly here.
You know who's coming through the field quickly? Greg McConaughey. While we're outside the fuel projections on the strategy, McConaughey is now in the top 5. and is leading the strategy on those on fresh rubber. Now Tyler Truex under attack for third with a slider.
Yeah, this is looking kind of scary here. Jurassic is well under fire. Ooh. Also, Aaron's coming as well. Thomas Aaron, man, I'm telling you, this guy could get a career best finish tonight. I mean, he is looking so good right now. As Greg McConey, I think, could possibly take the lead here if it continues to stay green. I mean, he is running faster than everybody in front of him at the moment. I told you this guy is capable of winning a race or possibly getting in the lead. Well, I think he's getting ready to do it.
Thomas Aaron on the fresh tires, now up to fourth. Here comes McConey for second. McConey, massive squeeze on Ryan Truex. Now he wants the lead. Ryan Truex nearly spins it as Aaron goes alongside McConey, looking for the lead on the high arc.
Also Montgomery getting ready to enter the top 5 for the first time. I bet he's got to be happy to be back and have his computer running again because he is up in the top 5. Just got by Jordan Jurassic. Robert Walton just up to 6th now. Where are we? This is the Twilight Zone.
All of a sudden, Montgomery with a massive dent in the back bumper is inside the top 4. What did you say about fresh tires? Those shoes seem to be running quick.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. I mean, he was about over half a second faster than Matt Garrett, our previous leader. He's now back to 4th place. Probably going to get passed by Robert Walton as well. Caution is out.
And it's trouble in turn 3. TJ Lee again. Eagleswood Creations yellow. And this time, it collects several drivers in the back.
And that's unfortunate, too, because I think when the green flag came out, TJ Lee was coming off of pit road. Oh, what the heck? That was a really weird accident right there. It just looked like he suddenly lost it on the entry to the corner.
Hard contact for both Newkirk and Condon.
This might be an equipment failure. I think it was. I think that was an equipment failure.
So at least 3 cars involved in the incident. But now, that comes at near perfect time for the strategy to come into play. Here's a look again from above.
It's just so sudden that his car just starts turning to the right. I feel like his wheel or something might have had a malfunction.
Now, this is the caution that we expected to be the potential money window. Drivers, such as Ryan Truex and Matt Garrett, you just seen there pitting. Reed Foley, pit last caution for repairs. He's now amongst those taking fuel only of note. But here is where it gets even more trickier. About 10 laps difference on the tires, green flag circuits. Now, does track position win or does tires win the race?
Tires, I mean, I'd say are going to be fairly important. But I don't think we're done with the caution flag yet. And the thing is all those guys that just pitted, for the most part, I mean, I think some guys, well, it looks like we got some guys coming back down pit road. Foley and Boundy, I think, coming back down pit road. But some of the guys that just pitted, I think they're out of tires. Done with tires. That's it. There's no more left. So if we get a caution from here, let's say on lap 175, a lot of these guys are going to be kind of up the creek without a paddle.
So much intrigue about to pop up here, to say the very least. We've talked about McConey a fair bit. He's amongst those in the postseason, 10th in seeding entering the night. Amongst those with 4 top 5s and 10 top 10s this season, including in the last race out, Watkins got an 18th place finish. But he's been quietly solid on the ovals much of the season. Top 10, in fact, top 5 at the Brickyard, top 10 at Milwaukee, top 10 at Nashville. Solid stretch in the midst of this postseason run.
100%. I want to look at Jordan Jurassic. I'm surprised he stayed out. He's in 5th right now on like 40 lap old tires. This is going to be kind of a scary thing for Jurassic. I think that we could end up seeing him spinning his tires more than anybody we've seen thus far in this race. I do believe pace car lights should be going out this time by, but man, this has just been this race has been crazy. I mean, I just can't believe the things I'm seeing here. We're seeing guys that are having their best runs all season.
So we'll see how this goes. Some banking on chaos, some banking on the storm getting calm. So it's McConaughey in control for the TLC restart zone coming up. Thomas Aaron, who graduated from the University of North Texas earlier this summer, and as of May, working as a mechanical engineer, looking to work his way around for the lead. Can this be the night the 4-year tire technician battles it out for the race win? One of the drivers looking to play spoiler similar to the first round of the playoffs.
It's definitely possible. I mean, he's definitely he's shown race-winning pace, I'd say. I mean, he's been just as fast as most of these drivers out here. So definitely suspect that it could be the case. We'll see.
47 laps to go for the TLC restart zone. We're already slamming. Haven't even entered the zone. Clapper rips the back bumper apart on Jurassic. We're back underway.
That's not something you want to see. Good start there for Greg McConaughey. He just caught everybody sleeping here. Robert Walton under fire right now from Montgomery. Montgomery's going to move up to 3rd.
I'm still stunned that car's up there, tires or not. McConaughey looking to build a buffer. Jurassic, older tires and nose damage. Caution is out. Turn 3 and 4. Tyler Truex in trouble. And this time it's involving Damian Neeson for the Eagleswood Creations yellow.
And you said it before that Tyler Truex desperately needs points in this race. This is not the way to do it.
Keep amongst those very tight on the edge of the cut line entering the round. They have to back that up a little bit more because things seem to back up quickly.
Yeah, definitely want to see if we can get to the bottom of this. Looks like he had some issues with possibly the 35 little bit.
24.
24, okay.
On the apron.
Yeah. Neeson entering the corner on the apron. I bet Tyler's not too happy about that.
And the reason mentioning turn 2, hearing he had gone from 12th to the back of the field in the span of that entire lap. Look at that.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of guys that are probably going to be asking what he was doing there. I mean, I understand if he was trying to get out of the way, but that a lot of times when you're trying to get out of the way like that, you're more of an obstacle than if you just try to stay on the racetrack.
So one of the DNQ cars involved Jurassic, after picking up damage, lash caution, is not taking tires, it's taking fuel.
Crazy.
He didn't even fix the damage. Why not?
I don't know what to think here. I have no way to predict who's going to win this race. I don't know. I mean, we're seeing all kinds of implications though for the playoffs. I'll tell you that. We talked about guys. You don't want to have to do well at a track like Darlington or stake all of your championship hopes on a track like Atlanta, the super speedway. I mean, that's what this race is putting some of these guys in that predicament.
We're kind of expecting a wild round. Well, it's already started off a very wild round, one of the hardest rounds you could ever think of, with 2 driver-focused tracks and a super speedway in the midst that is also driver-focused and tire-focused. Speaking of the next race, August the 9th, Darlington Raceway, you go from Miles the Monster to the Lady in Black in terms of what you have to be able to conquer.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, I am very, very familiar with that racetrack. It's actually my home track. I live in Darlington County. So, I mean, I've been to almost every race there for the last few years, and it's a doozy. I mean, she's hungry for, you know, those sides of those cars. She will definitely eat those things up, and tire wear is very significant at Darlington as well. That place is a driver's track. Even though it's not a, you know, mile track like this is, a lot of people regard it as the hardest track on the schedule. I mean, just because it takes such finesse, and that wall comes out to bite you so quickly.
Looks like McConey wanting the top again, if there's any indication there. He's already confirmed he's doing the same thing again. Does the same thing work here?
I think so. I mean, he's been looking really good. You know, starting on the top, I think he gets a better run. So, I mean, I like this decision. You know, I think that the newer tire guys are not that far away from Greg McConey, though, as well. I mean, you got Matt Garrett, I do believe, in 10th right now.
Yeah. Keep in mind, Justin Clapper, who was involved in that massive incident down the back straightaway, he's in the top 5. If he can hold on to this is a massive recovery for the 63 car.
There's a lot of cars right now that are in the top 10, or a couple of them that have been in some massive wrecks. I mean, Matt Cherry, that car, I'm surprised that car's still running. He's up in 7th right now, or 8th. Noah Rainwater, he's been involved in a lot of wrecks tonight, up in the top 10. I think it's just all about limiting the amount of damage you have and surviving it. You know, making sure the damage you get is not catastrophic.
Expecting another wild restart. And we delay the green because one driver did not catch up to the field. Allen Jr. just caught the back of the pack. And it looks like Robert Condon has to peel on down. Damian Neeson also is getting him into the longest line penalty for the cause the caution that had not been issued prior to the restart. So that last point seems to be the point of this delay here. We'll try it again.
Yeah, I don't blame him for giving the end of the line there to the 24. Nothing against him or anything like that, but he did impact a playoff driver's possible points here. You know, just depending on if Tyler can actually recover or not. Of course, Tyler, I do believe, did, I think, take tires that last. There is on a little bit fresh tires. Maybe he could work his way back up forward.
Coming up to 40 laps to go, though. Greg McConey looking to try and win his way into the dark 8. Can he find his way to bring that Ford to victory lane? Aaron alongside looking to play playoff spoiler. Montgomery and Walton also candidates for that. Freeman is up inside the top 6 with Clapper. TLC restart zone. No contact into the restart zone this time. Up on the bottom line. Slow roll for the green.
Really good launch there for McConey. He knew exactly what he's doing. Robert Walton trying to go for second place here on Aaron. I think Aaron's going to get the better run into turn 1. Also see side by side Clapper deeply battling with Freeman. Clapper gets clear.
Near to 3 wide behind, meanwhile, Leahy nearly to the back end of Garrett. Garrett alongside Matt Cherry, meanwhile. Ryan Truex looking to go. He darts underneath Leahy. Underneath on the side, Montgomery trying to pass Walton. Walton on the outside with the cleaner car in 3rd.
Yeah, Ryan Truex not wanting anybody else to get paid out here for that bounty that is on him. He is going to be trying to work on Noah Rainwater. Not able to get there, though. Matt Cherry trying to hold on to that spot as well. From defending against Rainwater. Of course, Cherry, very damaged race car. How was that car still even going? He doesn't even have a back end.
It's not easy to fuel it, let's put it that way. Rainwater, not able to clear either. Formosa now bundled up as well. Up in front, Garrett passes by Freeman. Fresher tires again for Garrett coming into play. He's the first of those on freshies. Cherry into the wall.
Yeah, I think Matt Garrett very much in a really good position right now.
For the lead, Aaron looking to spoil. McConey looking to try and win his way forward. 36 to go.
Robert Walton right up in the mix as well. You see Matt Garrett moves up to the top. He's going to try, I think, get a straight exit to get a big run up on Montgomery. Still side by side for the lead. Here comes Garrett to the inside. He's going to move up to the 4th place position. Still side by side for the lead.
MPM on the inside. Next level on the outside and crashing. A crash for the race lead. Garrett involved. And we're under yellow once again. The leaders crash down the front stretch.
Oh my goodness. Matt Garrett had a really good opportunity to possibly win this race, but unfortunately he got took out along with those 2 leaders. McConey, heart has to be broken as well, getting involved in that.
Let's take a look. A big incident at a big moment.
I think the 93 might have cleared himself there. I think he just went up a little too high on the straightaway. Could maybe take another view on that, maybe a chopper view to kind of see if we can see who moved the most here.
Right there.
Oh, I think McConey kind of was trying to avoid the wall, came down on the 93 as well. That might have been more of a racing deal. I think they might have met in the middle there.
And here's another view with the chopper. And into the wall. And Garrett into the crash.
Yeah, Garrett hit hard. He just hit that front end very, very hard. And that is, I'm wondering how he's going to be able to recover and respond from that. Now our leader is Montgomery.
So, Bounty Amutsto's also in, by the way. Fully back in. Robert Walton did have a set of tires in the midst of his 7 pit stops. It's taken the set. Rainwater has also come in and taken a set. Cherry Jurassic also in for sets. Neeson fuel only. Foley back on in again as well for a set. So coming up to 32 to go. Ryan Truex, Justin Clapper, Scott Formosa right behind Montgomery. All of those playoff drivers right there for the taking. Freeman and Tyler Truex, by the way, having to dodge by going underneath the green cone, have had their black flags waved as they had gone down technically the exit of the pit road to avoid the incident.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I saw Freeman, it was like his stint said a couple laps there. I was like, did he pit? It says he only spent 0.4 on pit lane. So yeah, that makes a lot more sense then. But yeah, I think majority of these drivers do not have tires left. I do believe you said this. A lot of guys probably just took their last sets there, and I'm wondering who does have their last set left still.
McConey only got a few seconds of damage. So, we pace. Air being ruled as the cause of caution, by the way. So no penalties from that race incident again.
That's interesting. I think they would have hit either way, though.
It's just made a hurricane around Dover in terms of wind gusts.
Yeah. I don't know. It could be an iRacing thing. We've been having some issues here lately. But, yeah, there is a lot of wind out there on the racetrack. I think there might be a tornado in the infield putting some excess wind on these race cars.
Hey, don't forget about the rain vortex. We're keeping the rain out by running.
That's right. I have heard that. That's like a myth that they used to say that it actually affected the weather. I've heard that before.
I mean, I know that was a very big talking point between Darrell Waltrip and Mike Joy a few years ago. And becoming a major, I mean, now it's the opposite that sometimes comes into play in real life. Lights out on top of the iRacing pace car, by the way. Montgomery and Ryan Truex on the front row. First of those on fresh tires, back in row 5.
Yeah, this is going to be fairly interesting to see how this all plays out. I mean, Ryan Truex, I thought he had no chance. I mean, of course, early in the race, he was the odds-on favorite, but I don't know if he's necessarily that anymore. But do we continue to see cautions? If we do, that might raise his chances a little bit here.
By the way, only 6 cars out of the race. Lee, McCreary, Dennis, Chalk, Corner, and Schumann. Big points hits tonight for Diebold and McCreary, though. With Diebold still laps down and still not the lucky dog because Burleson is still running 5 laps down.
It's a heartbreaker.
30 to go. TLC restart zone. We're bumping again on the inside coming to the green.
Yeah, really good start there for Montgomery, able to get cleared for the lead. Clapper, of course, in 3rd place. He's got significant front-end damage. Sean Bounty, big moves up to 9th now. Yellow flag back out.
Oh, it's the big one. McConey's in it. Newkirk coming out of it. Leahy inside wall with Burleson. Rainwater involved. Cautions. Read cautions. Eagleswood Creations caution yet again.
Look at that, missing the front end on McConey. Big hit there for McConey. We're gonna have to definitely take a look at this one. This was probably the biggest crash we've seen thus far tonight. See Greg McConey on the rear end, I do believe. Oh, yep, there's tags. 28, I do believe.
I will say this on the radio. I backed out. Then a caution came out. You look to the corner. Chaos. And McConey taking responsibility for the cause of caution already. Here's the look again.
Right there, just a little touch is all it takes. And you see Rainwater involved. Rainwater's just been having a terrible night tonight. Matt Garrett just barely able to slow down in order to stay out of this.
So Newkirk, Condon, Garrett, McConey all back to the pit lane. Where'd he go? Jurassic, my goodness.
Yeah, Jurassic, I think he made it through a fairly clean near miss there for him. Or I should say, he almost got involved in that. You see McConey coming down to take some necessary pit road repairs there. Montgomery still in the lead.
So, yes indeed. Diebold is lucky dog.
Finally.
So, 27 to go when we get back going. It's worth mentioning we do have one more short track on the schedule in the Dark 8, Iowa. And that one expect to be pressure. Remember, that is a short track. And they had lifted the short track policy for tonight. See how Iowa plays out in turn.
I think that one's going to be a great race. I mean, Iowa, one of my all-time favorite tracks. Absolutely love that place. I mean, you can see side-by-side action there. Multiple grooves of racing. I can't wait. Can't wait to see how that looks for sure.
UL penalties for McConey. And once again, Kyle Newkirk asking for a penalty and gets one. So, here's the major kicker in all this. Robert Walton, he was flying off that start before the caution. Outside row 4 now for the 66.
I think we could see a first-time winner tonight. I think that is very much possible. And what if it is a 66? I mean, that would be absolutely mind-blowing. Robert Walton is usually a driver that's outside of the top 20.
It has been a wacky one in regards to that play. Drivers being warned to be careful for this upcoming restart. Now, talking about Robert Walton, this is his 8th start this season, by the way. And he's only had one top 10 this year. California, Auto Club Speedway. In March. It's been a long time since he finished inside the top 15. Since he's been 18th, 27th, 31st, 25th, 28th, and 25th since then, coding 32 incident points at the paperclip.
Wow. Well, he's got a lot of opportunity right now. I mean, a lot of potential for this race. I mean, a lot of times you get that one good race that can really turn everything around for you. I mean, especially, you know, maybe leading into next season. You know, having that one good race could give you the confidence you need, and I think that could be what this is for Walton. I mean, you don't luck into a good finish at a track like Dover. This place does take some skill.
25 laps to go. Montgomery looking to make up for troubles with his PC. Can he keep it clean up at the front? Ryan Truex looking to try and prevent $50 from being paid out. Justin Clapper already on the back bumper again. Green flag is out, back it away. And major tire spin for the outside.
It almost looked like Clapper was getting ready to push Montgomery if he didn't go. Montgomery is able to keep the lead here. Oh, some blinky for Scott Formosa. Side by side behind him, though. Greg Vile, surprised he's still in the battle. I believe he is trying to fight with Tyler Truex at the moment.
Few drivers up on the outside. Walton getting squeezed around. That's the battle of the drivers on fresh tires. All while Clapper loses the bottom to Freeman. Here comes Formosa.
Also, Jurassic making a big move underneath Robert Walton here. Moves up to 9th. Also, big mover is Sean Boundy in the 35.
Here we go. For the race lead, Ryan Truex is in it. Freeman, he's on a bit of a different strategy than most of these others. Can he retake the lead for the first time in a while? He led 45 laps earlier tonight.
I think so. I mean, looking at his lap times, he's 2/10 faster than Ryan Truex and 4/10 faster than Montgomery. So I think that Freeman's on a little bit of a different strategy like we talked about earlier. He sacrificed, stayed out a couple times, saved the set of tires. I think it might be playing out well for him. Of course, Formosa also is on this same strategy, I do believe, with Freeman. Very, very fast in the 80.
There he goes inside Montgomery. So Montgomery lets them on go. Formosa looking to follow that train as well to do the same.
Yeah, these guys are running the fastest laps on the racetrack right now, Freeman and Formosa. I think they have the strategy sort of figured out. It's falling into their hands. Ryan Truex is going to be a sitting duck. Freeman is coming.
By the way, 3 wide, starting to bubble over Clapper, Vile, Jurassic, and several others right in the midst of the pack.
Yeah, right there you see Cherry, Vile, all kinds of battling going on. Foley, Foley, I tell you, that guy's got extra on the front of his hood. That man is extra. I will say that describes him.
Foley nearly rubbing the back end of Vile. Clapper forced up to the top side. Aaron able to fix a lot of the damage stuck on the bottom.
Yeah, glad to see Aaron back in this thing, trying to recover. These guys definitely never give up, and just you got to be so inspired by that.
Tyler Truex, by the way, shuffling up to 6th. Boundy inside the top 5 for the first time since electing to stay out on old tires after stage 1. Top 3, though. Ryan Truex, John Freeman, Scott Formosa. All running in the 24 flats. They are the 3 quickest cars on the racetrack.
Jurassic is looking actually turned, I do believe, the fastest lap just last time by of the field. He's actually catching up quickly to Tyler Truex. Side by side, oh, it gets tight. Woo. He is going to make the pass stick, though. Now Jurassic up to 6th.
Second pass in a row with some rubbing to the right rear fender. Now this time Montgomery trying to move as far out of the way as he can.
Yeah, Jurassic now up to the 5th spot. He's about 4/10 back from Sean Boundy. Jurassic still steadily one of the fastest cars on the track. I think he is about 1.6 seconds to get up to Ryan Truex, though. He's got a long way to go.
Freeman a little quicker on apex. Ryan Truex quicker on the exit. Coming to 15 laps to go for the Monster Mile.
Yeah, Ryan does have the advantage right now. He has the track position. He has the clean air. Freeman, if Ryan Truex stays on the bottom, Freeman has got to find a way to get by him. And that's probably going to require him going on to the top. And I think that's a hard ask.
And keep in mind, Sean Bounty is the first of those who took tires most recently. Last time by, 2/10 quicker to the leader. Foley, you can argue, is on that same call. Now making the pass on Montgomery, that's for 8th. Aaron, meanwhile, passing Cherry, that's for 10th.
Yeah, I saw Cherry actually drop a couple spots. I thought a caution was coming out for a second there, but it looks like everything is just fine. And surprised to see that car still running in 11th place after all that damage. But looks like Freeman, I think, is running out of steam. He had a little bit fresher tires than Ryan Truex, but I think he is very much running out of steam.
Staying in a line, looking to set things up. It's just that exit that seems to be so much better for Ryan Truex. Freeman just loses it by the apex. Here's a look at where Bounty is. He's now approaching 1 second back. Jurassic also on fresher tires, looking to pass. Despite the damage, he is flying with a squeeze.
Very much so. He's about 3/10 faster last time by than everybody in front of him, and he's going to make the pass on Boundy. Now up to 4th place. Now sets his sights on Formosa. Now Formosa is struggling compared to a lot of these other drivers that are out here. Also, Foley, I do believe, just made his way up to 7th place. He's running very quick as well in 15th.
Up to the inside for 3rd. Formosa gives the space. JCR car of Jurassic inside the top 3. Right now, the gap between 2nd and 3rd, about 7/10. 10 laps to go, 10 miles to go from Dover Motor Speedway.
I hate to say it, but I think Ryan Truex, still opportunity for something else to happen here, but like we said, 10 laps to go here in 10 laps to go. Can Ryan Truex hold on to it? He's got 4/10. He's building up to a half a second right now on John Freeman. Jurassic running out of time. Can he catch up to Freeman and possibly get second away?
He's closing them fast. Nailing to the wall, Freeman. Half a second between 2nd and 3rd. With 9 to go, Jurassic quicker on apex, quicker on exit, quicker on entry. Massively quicker down the back.
If he can make quick work of Freeman here, he has a chance to get up to Ryan Truex. Lap time-wise, he's been 2/10 faster than Ryan Truex. He has enough time, and he's going to make the pass quick on Freeman. He has an opportunity here. I think Jurassic, do not count him out. I think he might be able to get up here to Ryan.
Jurassic, very stellar much of the season. Wins earlier in the month of June at Bristol and at Kansas. Can he make his way to the point with 7 laps to go in this playoff race to lock himself into the dark 8?
Seeing right now, last time by it was much closer on lap time. 6/10 separate them. Last time by, Jurassic was about a half a tenth faster than Ryan Truex. I don't think that's going to be enough.
Starting to equalize out a little bit. No progression this time by. 6 laps to go.
Yeah, I think he plateaued by getting by all those other drivers. It took a lot of the resources away, where I don't think he's got a lot left. He is still making progress, but not enough. as we're coming now to 5 laps to go. Ryan Truex exiting turn number 4 onto the front stretch.
Lap traffic ahead. It's Burleson. Clean air gone for Ryan Truex for the next lap.
Jurassic just hit the wall on the front stretch.
Oh, and that could be costly. He had been down a half a second. It's back up to 9/10 and growing with the damage.
That is just unfortunate. He was really catching up quite quick. I thought that lap traffic could be hope for Jurassic, but unfortunately, that is not going to help him at all. Also, Freeman going to encounter, I do believe, Burleson as well, but I think Freeman's not going to get held up too much by this. But Ryan Truex coming up to now 3 laps to go.
Gonna need some luck to be able to close up to the 56. Ryan Truex picking up his first career Xfinity Series victory earlier this year for Joe Gibbs Racing in his Toyota Supra. Doing so in one of the strongest races of the season in that car number. Now, in Thunderclap, Ryan Truex looking to keep up what's been a very strong season. Coming at 2 laps to go, looking for his 7th win of the campaign.
He is the points leader right now by 9 points, and I think he's getting ready to extend that further as we come to 2 laps to go. He has 1.2 seconds on Jordan Jurassic right now. Who can really, there's not a lot of drivers that can say that they won in real life and in the virtual at the same racetrack, and I think Ryan Truex is definitely getting ready to make that happen as he comes closer and closer to 1 lap to go.
It's been a strategy roulette much of the night, but the white flag waits at the stand. 1 lap to go, presented by RL Productions. Ryan Truex, despite all the mixtures of different players, comers and goers, has put an absolute staple on this night. Most laps led, and it's not even close. Through 3 and 4. What bouncy, says Ryan Truex. Let's go to the dark gate. Ryan Truex locks himself in with the win at Dover.
Yeah, there's some guys that are disappointed right now that they're not going to have $50. I hope they weren't spending that before they got it. Oh, Matt Sherry into the outside wall, crossing the line. I think he just barely finished his 9th. Wow. Oh, more issues. TJ Lee.
That's Leahy into the back end of Lee to finish out those crossing the stripe. But it's Ryan Truex. Picks up the win. Everybody coming to congratulate him.
He was the favorite, and he wasn't the favorite for nothing. I mean, he definitely knows this track. The Truex family. I mean, these guys, they ought to go ahead and just rename this track to Truex Motor Speedway.
Ryan Truex, can't tell if he's backing up or burning it down. Now he does it. 7 wins in 2023. And in the end, 65 laps led out of 200. How do you do, Mr. Truex? And as he burns it on down, let's take a look at the unofficial race results tonight. A busy, busy night from the Dover Motor Speedway. Miles the Monster claiming a lot of damaged race cars. Ryan Truex beating Jordan Jurassic by 1.6 seconds in the end. Jurassic had gotten the gap down to half a second before that late race contact to the wall. Turned Jurassic losing 9/10 from the damage in 4 laps. Freeman, fully Famoso, your top 5. Sean Boundy, after having such a strong run early, staying out for the fuel, eventually getting back to 6th to end it. Aaron, after battling for the race lead, getting involved in contact down the front stretch down at the flag stand, comes back from 26th to 7th. Dover Truex got Cherry despite no back bumper, and Montgomery the top 10.
Allen Jr. in 11th place, Walton in 12th. Very actually impressive race for Walton here tonight. 13th, Robert Condon. 14th, Greg Vial. 15th, Greg McConey. Kind of a little bit of an up and down day for McConey. Had a really good shot at possibly winning this race. 16th, Matt Garrett, another driver that almost had some chances at winning this race. Clapper 17th, Leahy 18th, Rainwater 19th, and Neeson rounds out the top 20.
21st tonight going to Burleson, Diebold, Lee, Newkirk. Also amongst those in troubles, McCrary, Dennis, Tauber Chalk, along with Joshua Corner. Brandon Schumann only made it 20 laps before the DNF to end off the running order. 29 cars in the field. Very interesting night, to say the very least. So that gets us prepared for post-race coverage. Let's take the time to speak with our drivers. Start from third to first tonight. John Freeman picks up the victory. Newport News, Virginia hometown driver. A top 3 run, John. It was intriguing to see your strategy calls. How would you describe the night from the cockpit?
Actually, man, I would say it was pretty good. I really enjoyed the racing tonight for the most part. With the strategy calls, I had actually wanted to get as much points as possible through the first 2 stages, knowing being in that battle for the regular season title. So I decided to run those 2, stage 1. Stage 2, I actually made a couple mistakes in the restart, so I fell back to P4. And then there in stage 3, I actually saved enough tire, and I was running the top 3 down again, and then we had that caution. And that's when I decided, I knew some guys that weren't running for the playoffs were going to need had saved sets earlier, so I said I need to get back on that strategy. I assume there's going to be some cautions. So I took fuel only, and that's the reason that strategy is a little weird. I had to take a beating to make sure I was back on the same amount of sets as everyone else around me that wasn't racing for points.
It also seemed very difficult to make the passes tonight. How was that, trying to get the passes down? Because there was a lot of contact and a lot of drivers on the right side of with the right side of the cars in the wall.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks where it's really just a one groove track. It's kind of narrow, unless you're like Truex was in that one restart where he blew my doors off on the outside with his experience. But it's really about just being very careful in the throttle and kind of being courteous to the guys around you, especially at Dover. There seems to be a very bad net code from what I was hearing from the race control. So you just got to be courteous, really be patient on throttle, and try to stay off of everyone else. I don't think I had contact with anyone all race, so that was good. I did think my race was over when we had that wreck with about 30 to go right in front of me when I was running P4 or P5, I think. I had to downshift the second and just brake and lock her up and slide sideways and hope not to hit the inside wall to avoid the carnage in front of me, and kind of got lucky there.
Darlington is next. How do you feel about Darlington?
Love the track. I'm solid there, not great. I haven't been there enough to say I'm going to be a contender as of yet, but I'll put in the practice, and I'm excited for it. It's a driver's track. You really have to put in the work, and if you do, you should get good results there. And it's going to be terrible on tires, just like Dover, so that's not going to be fun.
All 3 races, you can argue, big on the tire wear. We'll see how you do at Darlington. Congrats on the run.
Thank you very much.
John Freeman, a top 3 tonight. Second spot tonight. So close, yet so far for Jordan Jurassic. He's with Brian.
Jordan, definitely fantastic run for you. I mean, you look like you had the closing right there. I kind of thought you might have what it takes to go up there and dethrone Ryan Truex and maybe claim that $50, but I think you got on into the wall on the front stretch. Walk us through what happened there, and what else did you need to do to get up there?
I just needed probably a little bit fresher tires. I've went through, I think we restarted 11th, that last restart, and we just made our way up through the field. So we had a lot of lap traffic to go, well, not a lap traffic, but a lot of cars to go through and burn up a lot of stuff. But yeah, we got tight there off of Ford. That's the only time I've gotten tight all day. Never hit the wall all day, and I was perfect. And it just, yeah, it kind of hurt the car really bad, so I couldn't really make another run. I was just trying to struggle to get to the finish line.
Well, it definitely was a very good points day from you here tonight. Of course, usually you're the qualifying king. It didn't seem like you did as good of a job in qualifying here tonight. I mean, you started in 18th. You jumped up to, I do believe, 2nd, which I think makes you, if not the biggest mover, one of the biggest movers. Why didn't you qualify as well tonight?
So on our get-up lap, I didn't have really good speed, so I hit the wall. Well, I didn't hit the wall, but I backed out and it spun out, so it gave me a black flag, and then I tried to redo it again. So I knew if I probably would have spun out again, it wouldn't count another lap. And the next time I go to my get-up lap and I hit the wall coming off a 4, and I just ran the rest of the laps with major damage, just how like I hit the wall off a 4 with 5 to go. Very similar.
All right, well, definitely at least significant recovery though to finish second place. Not a bad day at all. Good points day for you. Darlington comes up next week. That's a tough track. How do you feel about that place?
Oh yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel like we could work those lanes pretty well. It's just gonna be very track position dependent, and I think we can hopefully qualify a little bit better than today. But our track record shows that we could do pretty good. It's just gonna be put more laps in.
100%. Definitely qualifying going to be very important there at Darlington. Who can we give a shout out to after your finishing in second place here tonight?
I would like to give a shout out to all the fans out in the stands. It was a pretty packed house again. They just keep showing up every race, especially in the Cloudy 12 playoffs.
100%, man. Every race seems to be more exciting than the last. We appreciate your time, Jordan. We'll see you next week.
Sure, you'll have a good one.
Jordan Jurassic coming away second. Ryan Truex wins again. This time at a track he won at real life, Dover. Ryan, it wasn't easy, but you ended up beating the bounty. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it was a very interesting race for sure. I definitely don't think I was the fastest. I think the 5 and the 6 there were probably better than me for most of the race. I don't know what happened to the 6 at the end. He was definitely running me down on tires, and I'm not sure if he got in the wall or something happened, but it seemed like 3 or 4 to go, he lost his momentum there. So probably got a little lucky with that, but yeah, overall, typical Dover race. The cautions never fall where you want them to, and tire strategy ended up, playing into it.
Yeah, I was going to say, how difficult was it to try and pick out the right call? Because there were 4 tire sets available in this race. Turns out, when you calculated the pit strategies with the fuel mileage, you didn't have any available to bank on. Eventually, we've seen drivers just stay out and not take tires several times.
Yeah, and it's actually the case in real life. You have enough tires for every fuel run, but if the race runs green to the end and there's a late caution, you're out of tires unless you give up a set somewhere or just catch a lucky caution. Just with the stage lengths, it was just long enough, where you just lose too much if you decided to just take fuel only and no tires. I didn't want to bank on that and then be stuck back in traffic, because it's typical Dover. It's hard to pass and so easy to get caught up in trouble. I narrowly missed that front straightaway wreck, and that probably would have been it for me. That's just the price you pay when you change your strategy up. At some point, you're going to have to come from the rear. And I think that's what bit a few people that had the speed to win. Honestly just kind of got lucky with it.
So Darlington is up next. You're now inside the dark 8. So what's the approach now going to be, knowing you're already locked into the next round of the playoff?
It's the same. I just kind of play it by ear in the race. I've been trying the past few, just because I know I have a pretty good points cushion, I've been trying to just get stage wins and pad that a little more. But yeah, more wins obviously help get you more points to get into the next round. So it doesn't change anything for me. Darlington's a fun one. You got to save tires, and it's kind of the same thing. You're limited on tire sets pretty much every week in here, and it's a matter of taking them at the right time. And obviously, Darlington is a place you really don't want to get caught out without tires. So I'm sure that when we get down to the end of that, tires will be who's got them left will be the winning call.
Well, congratulations on the run tonight once again.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Ryan Truex, your winner once again here in Thunderclap. I'd like to thank him, Jordan Jurassic, John Freeman for taking the time to speak with us during post-coverage here on Grid Vision. So Dover in turn coming to a close. Brian, your thoughts on what was a night where Miles the Monster was very happy?
Oh yeah, he had a veritable buffet here tonight. I thought it was a really good race. I mean, we saw a few cautions. We didn't get to see green flag pit stops. That was kind of disappointing. But we did get to see long runs. We got to saw strategy kind of play out, and we saw Ryan Truex win. I mean, that at a racetrack that he's won at in real life, I think that's really, really cool. I mean, definitely cool to be able to witness that, and also witness some guys we usually don't see up front running really well tonight as well. I think that they're a lot of confidence building tonight.
In turn, a lot of action coming up here on Grid Vision after a busy night here at the Monster Mile. Couple more races to go on the docket. Take a look at the Grid Vision schedule. Next up is NIS Open Competition, Michigan International Speedway, 9 p.m. Eastern Time this Friday. Be sure to tune in from Michigan, a racetrack known for long runs but also very speedy cars, now with the Gen 7. Then on Sunday, it's the truck equivalent, the Global Racing League Truck Series, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. See how things play out at Michigan this Sunday. On that note, though, it's time to say goodbye. For my co-announcer tonight, Brian Brett. For our producer, Austin Darbyshire, I'm Justin Brent saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching the opening race of the Cloudy 12 Thunderclap iRacing Series playoffs presented by TLC Incorporated. Congratulations to Ryan Truex, your winner from Dover, Delaware.